We are counting down 10 haunting disappearances from the Appalachian Mountains, cases where the forest swallowed the trail and the missing were never returned. From hikers lost on marked paths, to children who vanished in an instant, to unsolved mysteries spanning decades and state lines, each entry reveals just how easily people can vanish in this region's dense woods and shifting weather. Why do some vanish without a trace, while others remain rumors or legends? Find out as we begin with number 10, the staggering, often unseen scale of missing persons along the Appalachian Trail. In the 10th place, the Appalachian Trail's missing persons cases reveal a scale that is almost impossible to grasp. Stretching over 2,190 miles and crossing 14 states, the trail weaves through some of the most isolated terrain in North America. Since the 1980s, hundreds of hikers have vanished along its length, with no comprehensive public record to track them all. Dense forests, unpredictable weather, and cell service that drops to near zero in remote stretches make rescue efforts a race against time. Without a centralized National Park Service database, many disappearances remain unreported or unresolved, leaving families and search teams facing not just the wilderness, but a bureaucratic maze. The true number of those lost may never be known. Number 9. Freddie Jackson set out on a familiar stretch of the Appalachian Trail in New York on March 19, 2011. Known to friends as a careful hiker, he was last seen following a well-marked path that many considered safe. When he failed to return, search teams combed the area for weeks, but the dense woods and steep drop-offs offered few clues. It wasn't until months later that his remains were found at the bottom of a hidden ravine just off the main trail. Jackson's case is a stark reminder that even the most traveled routes in the Appalachians can turn treacherous, and that a single misstep in rugged terrain may leave no immediate trace. 8th place, Kathleen Dimlo, known as Kathy, has a story that lingers on the Blue Ridge Parkway, not as a confirmed disappearance, but as a legend fueled by rumor and repetition. In September 1974, reports surfaced of a woman in white, seen near mile 15, yet neither the Smith County Sheriff's log nor National Park Service records document any missing person named Kathleen Dimlo on that date. Over the years, radio segments, documentaries, and online forums amplified the tale, transforming it from a simple sighting into a local ghost story. With no search and rescue activation or forensic evidence ever recorded, the Dimlo narrative reveals how Appalachian folklore can eclipse fact, leaving a cultural imprint even when the historical record remains empty. Number 7. Robert Barile, known as Bobby, set out in August 1997 to hike a rugged stretch of the Appalachian Trail in Pennsylvania. At 21, Barile was no stranger to the outdoors, known among friends as a careful, experienced hiker. That summer, he vanished without a trace. The section he traveled is infamous for its rocky ledges and scree slopes, where a single misstep can send even the most seasoned hikers off course. Search teams combed the area for days, covering every possible route and scanning the steep terrain, but found nothing. No gear, no footprints, not a single clue. The absence of remains left only theories: a sudden fall, disorientation among the rocks, or perhaps a hidden hazard no one saw coming. Barile's disappearance stands as a sobering reminder that in the Appalachian Mountains, expertise offers no guarantees against the unforgiving landscape. Number 6. The disappearance of Zeb Quinn in Asheville, North Carolina, remains one of the region's most perplexing cold cases. On January 2, 2000, 18-year-old Quinn left work to look at a car for sale, but he never made it home. Hours after he vanished, 2 cryptic pager messages were sent from a prepaid device registered to an acquaintance. The content, short, urgent, and mysterious, would later become central to the investigation. Days passed before Quinn's 1995 Mazda MX-5 surfaced, abandoned on a quiet road, with fresh tire tracks and traces of his DNA on the seat. Forensic soil analysis suggested the car had sat undisturbed for months, deepening the mystery. After years of stalled leads and public speculation, a breakthrough came in 2022 when a suspect was formally charged with Quinn's murder, though a conviction has yet to follow, and Quinn's remains have never been found. The case stands as a stark reminder of how digital clues and legal persistence can revive hope, even decades after someone disappears into the Appalachian shadows. Number 5. William Hurley's disappearance on the Appalachian Trail near Bear Mountain reveals both the power and the limits of community search efforts. On October 8, 2009, Hurley set out alone, last seen heading into the rugged hills above the Hudson River. When he did not return, local volunteers, hikers, and search and rescue teams mobilized, combing steep slopes and dense woods for weeks. Despite their persistence, the terrain proved relentless, and Hurley's remains were not found until 18 months later, hidden in a remote area few thought to check. His case stands as a sobering reminder that even with hundreds of volunteers and modern search methods, the Appalachian landscape can keep its secrets far longer than anyone expects. For solo hikers, it is a cautionary tale about the risks that linger on even the most popular trails. Number 4. Laureen Rahn's disappearance stretches the boundaries of a typical Appalachian missing person case. On April 26, 1980, the 14-year-old vanished from her New Hampshire home. Over the next year, 3 late-night phone calls, each traced to different motels in Southern California, were made to a Kentucky residence linked to Rahn's family. Motel guest records revealed aliases connected to a known trafficking ring, prompting the FBI to map possible victim movement between the West Coast and the Appalachian corridor. Despite these leads, no physical evidence ever placed Laureen in the region, and her fate remains unknown. The case stands out for its cross-country scope, raising the unsettling possibility that missing children can be swept into hidden interstate networks, with the Appalachian Mountains serving as one of many possible destinations. Number 3. Thelma Pauline Melton's disappearance from the Deep Creek Trail stands out for how the Appalachian landscape can swallow evidence for years. On September 25, 1981, Melton, age 58, set off on a gentle afternoon hike in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. When she failed to return, a massive search unfolded. Helicopters swept the ridges, tracking dogs scoured the undergrowth, and volunteers combed every foot of trail. Yet for 7 years, not a single clue surfaced. In 1988, a hiker stumbled upon skeletal remains less than a mile from where Melton vanished. Forensic analysis revealed the role of the environment. Acidic soils with a pH of 4.2, thick leaf litter up to 15 centimeters deep, and persistent humidity combined to slow decomposition and suppress odors. In this microclimate, bones blended into the forest floor, hidden just out of sight. Melton's case underscores how the Smokies terrain, with its dense cover and unique soil chemistry, can keep secrets far longer than searchers ever expect. Coming to the top 3, the disappearance of Trenny Lynn Gibson remains one of the most haunting mysteries in the Appalachian Mountains. On October 8, 1976, 16-year-old Trenny joined her high school horticulture class for a field trip to Clingman's Dome, the highest peak in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The group set out along the Forney Ridge Trail, with students moving at their own pace through dense woods and steep drop-offs. Somewhere between 1:30 p.m. and 3 p.m., classmates offered conflicting accounts. Some saw Trenny pausing alone near Andrews Bald. Others recalled her moving ahead, while a few believed she lagged behind. By the time the bus reconvened at the trailhead, Trenny was gone. The search that followed mobilized more than 200 volunteers, rangers, and law enforcement, but heavy rain and fog grounded helicopters and washed away scent trails. Requests for tracking dogs were denied due to weather, and statements from 6 witnesses only deepened the confusion about Trenny's last known direction. Despite exhaustive efforts, no trace of her was ever found, and the case remains officially unsolved. The conflicting timelines and missed search opportunities highlight how, even with multiple witnesses, the Appalachian wilderness can erase a person's path in a matter of minutes, leaving families with decades of questions and no answers. And finally, in first place, the disappearance of Dennis Martin stands as the defining mystery of the Appalachian Mountains. On June 14, 1969, 6-year-old Dennis vanished during a Father's Day outing near Spence Field in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. What began as a family camping trip quickly escalated into the largest search in the park's history. Over 1,400 people, rangers, volunteers, National Guard, and a detachment of Green Berets, scoured 56 square miles of rugged terrain. Torrential rain and dense fog erased footprints and washed away scent trails, while the sheer number of searchers sometimes obscured crucial evidence. Despite helicopters circling above and dog teams working the ground, not a single trace of Dennis was ever found. The search's scale and heartbreaking result forced the National Park Service to confront the limits of ad hoc rescue efforts. In the aftermath, the agency adopted the Incident Command System, formalized after-action reporting, and established dedicated search and rescue teams. These protocols shape every wilderness search in America today. Dennis Martin's case remains unsolved, but its legacy transformed how the nation responds when someone vanishes into the wild. Across all 10 cases, one pattern emerges. The Appalachian wilderness erases certainty. Vanished hikers, unsolved mysteries, and hidden evidence reveal how these mountains still outpace our search efforts. The real danger is not just nature. It is how easily the landscape swallows the truth. Thanks for watching. Share your thoughts below.